Hey everybody, I wanted to make a few videos to walk you through how to use Loadscope. On this first video, I'm going to do a full walkthrough from start to finish with importing your target and your chronograph files from your computer. The next video, I'll show you how to import your chronograph files directly from your chronograph by plugging it straight into your computer. And then the next one, we'll go over how to import your target files from your phone. So like I said, in this one, we're going to just do a full walkthrough and starting out on the home screen here. So to create a new load, you can do it one of two ways. Both are going to take you to the same place. There's create a new load on the left menu bar, and there's create a new load here in the middle of the home screen. Both are going to take you to step one, which is rifle and setup. First thing you want to do is enter a load name. This is going to follow it through all the way to saving it to your library. So whatever you want to have it called in the library, name it here. And what I'll typically do is just name it what I'm working on. And in this case, it's a powder ladder. I've already got my rifle and shooter information preset just for the sake of time. So down in load components, we're going to load what your bullet is you're shooting. And as you can see, there's a drop down with all the bullets in the library. The powder, double check what powder you want to use, and primers along with the distance you're shooting at. In the test session, you're going to have a powder ladder and a seating depth test. For the powder ladder, it's going to ask you what your test CBTO is. And so just enter whatever you're using. And if you were doing seating depth, it would ask you what your charge weight's going to be for the seating depth. Enter your environmentals. And then when you're done entering the information on this page, down in the bottom right, you're going to click Next. Next screen is going to be step two. It's going to be plan your ladder. So it's already carried over the powder ladder, what powder I'm using. And it's going to ask you whether you're using even increments or if you want to do manual charges. If you're shooting even increments, you can simply enter your first charge weight. We're going to step it up by 0.2 grains each. We're going to have 5 steps. Within those 5 steps, we're going to have 3 shots each. And then just verify down below that these are the actual charges you're shooting. Once you're done, again, bottom right corner, hit measure target. You'll get a pop-up with a quick little description of what you need to do in this screen. Hit got it. And then come up to the top right and click choose your target photos. I usually import my target photos directly to my desktop. That way I can just pull them in, and there's the JPEG file. It's going to ask me if I'm shooting one group per target or if all 5 groups are on one target. And in my case, all 5 groups are on one target. I just find it easier this way. And as you can see, here's my target with my 5 different groups. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set the scale. So you want to set your scale to a known distance. And in this case, I'm going to set it to 1 inch just because I know that each of these squares is a ½ inch. So I'm going to click and drag and release. Hit set this scale, verify that it's 1 inch, and click OK. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my aim just to make sure that I'm putting my aim in the proper spot for each target. And then I'll come up and click mark shots. These shots here are just simulated. But once I'm done marking my shots, I come over here and I hit save this target and go to the next. And you can see that 58.6 grains was that target. So my next target's going to be 58.8, and that matches what I have written down. Again, I'm going to move my aim And I'm going to mark my shots. Once more, I'm going to come down and hit save this target, go to next. And you can see that I'm getting these badges. So each of these badges is created, which measures my group size, my mean radius, my vertical dispersion, along with my elevation and windage changes I need to get back on my center. So I'm going to go through and finish the rest of these real quick. And as you can see, I can zoom in and zoom out just to make sure that I'm getting everything as accurate as I can. Now, once I get to my final target, when I finish marking my shots, it's going to give me the opportunity to move these badges. So a pop-up's going to come up, basically saying all my charges are measured, move my badges where I want. I like to just put them down below the target so that when I print it out, everything's in the same spot. And then I'm going to import my chronograph. Takes just a bit of time to save the downloads here, and then it's going to pop up into my import chronograph screen. Now in this case, we're going to browse files within the computer, but like I said in the next video, I'll show you how to plug your Garmin or your Ethlon straight into the computer itself. So we're going to click Browse Files, and it happened to just open it up to where my wrong powder is. So I'm going to go back to my desktop, pick the powder I'm using. There's my chronograph files. And you can see down here it says staging 1 dropped item. So once that's in there, I'm going to click Run Import. Now you'll get this screen that pops up and see that target information is all blank. If you read the line up above, it says no files are here. That's expected if you're measuring your targets from the photos in the app. These are basically here if you're importing targets from your phone. So confirm over here, these are the actual shots that you wanted imported. Confirm that, and you're going to import those 5 loads. It's going to ask you if you want to add those 15 rounds to that barrel so you can keep track of your round count. I'm going to add those. It already says my best load is ready. If I want to see my best load, click on the orange box there. And it says up on the header here, best load for my powder ladder, 58.6 grains. I can click why this one, excuse me. I can run through the entire process of what the logic is behind why that one. On this particular one, it says, with my charges this close in speed, my group size makes the call. So it's basing it on mean radius and vertical spread, basically. So as you can see, it won in mean radius and it won in vertical SD. Velocity SD and average velocity, if you come down here, may not have won first, but because of the weighting process, it did win overall. So it shows your winner here with the second and third place charges down below it. And if you look at scoring, you can actually change your percentage weighting on each parameter that we score it from. These are our weighting that we've come up with based on logic, and you can read about that in the FAQs if you want. So at the end, you can save this load to the library. Just confirms that this is all the information you're going to save. And that'll go into the library, which I'll show you here shortly. If you click Generate Load Card, this brings up the recipe for what your load is. So in this case, it was 58.6 grains with a CBTO of 2.327 using N555. And it has all the other information down below with what your performance is. These are nice because you can print them out and put them on your computer, or put them in a binder on your bench, so when you're reloading, you have all this information together. Down below, it actually creates a pocket dope card for you. So this is your dope based on the velocity that you just shot. It'll have it in mils or MOA, depending on what you put on the first screen. And it also has your wind. Now, if we go to libraries, this is the load we just did, the 555. I've got one previous load of H4831SC. It saves my targets, so I can click on any target I want, bring them up. Here's my bullet library, my rifle library, and my barrel library. Now with the rifles, I can come and right click, and it's got a bunch of different information that I can change there. Same with loads. Say I want to rework this load here. Right click on that load and I can rework it, meaning I can add more charges to it, or I can do the seating depth, a number of different options. Another really cool option here is compare loads. So if I want to compare these two loads, again, quick set of instructions. I can say, well, which load shot better between N555 and 4831? So I can click those two. And in this case, it says 4831 shot better. So that's essentially the walkthrough. As you can see, there's much more you can click on and go through and learn on your own, but that's the basics of how to get started. Again, if you have any questions, give us a shout. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.